You see that mountain over there? Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna climb that mountain.
Unwavering and incorruptible like my spirit, being harung like conservatives on every major media platform. This is Locker Room Talk, and I am your host, Political, the conservative you love to hate. Well, yesterday I traveled to Clarksville, Tennessee, to the Montgomery County Library. I heard that it was story time with Trans Ferdinand. That's right, folks. Every other Sunday at the Montgomery County Library in Clarksville, Tennessee, the community has seen it fit to have trans read fairy tales to children. No pun intended. You get a lot of heat covering this kind of stuff. I gotta give this lot credit where credit's due. Not one of them called me a Nazi. And if they did, I did not see it. And while we're on Nazis, what is a Nazi? I thought these people loved National Socialism. I'm as ideologically confused as they are about what's supposed to be in their pants. Anyhow, what you're about to see is my run-up to the event. I had no idea what to expect, but I had expectations.
Alrighty here, folks. Political here. Hiram Zimmerman, whatever. I'm on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. But I'm doing this instead, because I don't know. You don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, and somebody's got to push back against these people, folks, trans, whatever, because it looks like to me that they're going after the kids and trying to do some kind of mashup of a strip club meets elementary school. It's not cool, folks. So I'm on my way to Montgomery County Public Library right now in Clarksville, Tennessee, where there's supposed to be some drag show kind of thing going on for kids. I'm gonna go see what it's all about. You know, I don't hate people just because they're different, but when you start doing stuff like this, you just cross the line, alright? And so anyhow, I'll be filming when I get there. I got, and just in case anything happens to this phone, I got another little buddy in my pocket, old phone I nicknamed Giru. So I'm going to be recording audio for sure the entire time. I'm going to get as much video as I can. I'm going to try not to be disruptive. I'm going to try to ask questions if they'll take questions. Obviously you can see from my attire that, you know, I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. I thought about should I go incognito or not. And I think no. I think they need to see people, a physical presence standing there. You know, when you put this stuff out there, there's going to be resistance. And so for a world full of just like sanity and just like the most basic decency, not like I'm not some kind of like, you know, like I don't know. I am pretty vanilla, but anyhow, we'll see how it goes. All right. Okay, folks, I'm here in the parking lot. I got here pretty early. I kind of planned on that. This is a weird place. When I say middle of nowhere, like I'm in the middle of nowhere. No, I'm located in Nashville, in the city, and I had to drive hour 15 to get here. But even once you get off the interstate, it's a good clip, good 10 miles. It's hidden, but this is a big complex. Before I leave here, I'll drive around, give you guys the gist of the place. But what I'm looking out in front of me right now, we've got a Veteran Services Office, got a Children's Services Office, the Election Commission, the County Clerk, Department of Human Services has offices over here. So already, and don't get me started on DHS. I think that might be something that my liberal friends might agree with me on. That they're not really up to code, maybe into some shady stuff. So that's a little suspect. But public library's here. It's the biggest building in this complex. When I say complex, it's like the size of a mall or something. But anyhow, who knows? I don't even know if they're gonna let me in, really, because my shirt. But I'm gonna try. Again, I'm not gonna be disruptive. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna let them do their little freak show. And I imagine I might be accosted before then, but I'm gonna try to sit through this, and I'm gonna film it for you guys. And you can make up your own mind. Afterwards, I'll try to get in a couple questions. Alright, there's already a line of people here, a bunch of people with their kids. Honestly, they look like they all just came from Misfit Island. It's a real strange looking group of people. I haven't seen anyone here yet that strikes me as just like some kind of crazy person. They just look like your run-of-the-mill, kind of disenfranchised Americans. But we'll see. I'm about to go in here, so wish me luck.
He was red. Red. But he wasn't very good at red. Being red.
Old stuffy house in the ground of the U.S. Naval Observatory. That's because my grandpa is a vice president. His name is Mike. But this story is not going to be about him because he isn't very fun. This story is about me. I'm very.
Okay. So this guy can't be more than 16, 17, and he had to interject something about the bunny's uncle being Mike Pence. Now, I'll be a bunny's uncle if indoctrinating children with political beliefs isn't egregious and nonsensical. At this point, it's just masturbatory garbage. It's for the parents to reaffirm their lifestyle choices. And I didn't manage to capture it, but this young man had a little bit of a breakdown. Had himself a "why so serious, son?" moment while he was portraying the Bad Bunny, I guess. I don't know. But it was a little bit scary, and it was actually scary. And it gave insight into his inner turmoil. So this is part of my problem with the trans community. The lifestyle presented has one of the highest suicidality rates amongst any minority group. So selling that to others, coupled with the actual provable cases of child abuse involving hormone therapy, isn't the best idea, in my opinion. And they wanted to close the door, folks. They were not happy I was there. The beta men sitting outside the door were referred to as muscle. I guess they're a little loose with their definition regarding muscle, too. But anyhow, I'm not exactly an intimidating figure. But I was subtly pleased with myself at how unnerved they were, and thought it was only a matter of time before security and management confronted me. Instead, when the room let out, I managed to make acquaintances with a prominent lawyer who was also there for the spectacle. He seemed convinced that this was all a fad and would pass. I'm not so convinced. But after that, I made my way back outside where the true source of their discontent was. It could be found in the form of one man, with a sign that read, "Homo sex is a sin."
You know what happens? The Bible says all liars. In Revelation 21, all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire.
You're fighting
That's what
something
the Bible
inside.
says.
God can
That's
help
what
you
the
with
Bible
that.
says. Don't
He
you
would
be
love
lying.
you no matter
You
what.
slander a
God would
preacher of
love you if
righteousness,
you were
you
gay or
lied.
straight, honey. God will still love you when
You're
you
in
come out.
trouble with Jesus.
God will still love you when you come out, honey. It's 2018. Come out.
He didn't wash his sins, but he washed his disciples. Read your Bible.
I disagree with the trans movement indoctrinating kids by the reading and stuff, but I do feel like that everybody should be able to love whoever they want as long as you're an adult. You understand?
Oh, well, yeah, no children, but my son's also 7 and needs to know.
When you
It don't
start
matter if two
perverting
guys
your
want to have
little
sex with two
children.
women.
It's one
Don't
thing to
matter.
be perverted adults and a perverted parent.
But we didn't grow up like that, right? Like
I was raised to accept everybody. I
was too.
My parents were ignorant.
Well, I was raised to accept everybody too, but the problem is.
Reprobate mamas. God's going to judge the reprobate mamas.
You'll talk to me.
I'm sorry. So, are you saying that it's okay for adults to make those decisions, but not?
Yes, it's okay for adults to make the decision, but it's not.
Children know that exists at all. They can't know about it. You have to hide them from it. Tell them it's evil, and then
Hide them. Okay, be specific. What do you mean? Hide them from what? From what?
They don't want no problem.
From what? The endocrine system doesn't develop. Your frontal cortex doesn't fully develop until your mid-20s. All right.
So, I'm sorry. Are you trying for nurture or nature? Because you just.
I'm trying to say that indoctrinating children into the trans community and giving them hormone therapy and all that destroys their endocrine system. That's the beginnings, okay? That is the beginning.
Where it wasn't a prince and princess, two princes got together.
Okay, that's fine.
Big deal.
That's fine. What I'm suggesting is that the trans community is being used as a blanket for pedophilia.
That's not true at all.
A 7-year-old, not confused at all by the stories that were in there.
Wait. Are you referring to the stuff now where people are trying to put the P in LGBT and make it about pedophiles?
I mean, holy shit, that's actually happening.
No, it's not. That's 4chan trolls false flagging.
4chan.
It's
You
the same
think I
thing
follow
they did.
4chan, man?
It's the same thing they did with the Kakistan, the Pepe the Frog.
And QAnon.
Yeah, they're doing it to piss you off.
Okay, so that is deconstructionalist. Okay, that is postmodernism, to flaunt and tout those things to drive division. Okay, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that there are actual real life consequences for kids because of this.
They're not.
Well, that's insane.
No
You're
pedophilia is
insane.
encouraged by the community.
I think it is.
I just explained how that's not the.
What I'm gonna do is cut this up and then show them examples of how of things that are going on. And I don't want to be a dick, man.
Whatever you want.
You know what the word Christian means? Like Christ. Christ is not a pervert.
You seem like you might have enough room to learn and understand. I've given up on him.
To repent.
Well, see, I'm not religious, right? Like I'm not. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. You get it?
You understand now?
They don't do
That's what
They
Jesus
don't
would tell the
necessarily. They don't do surgery
LGBT
until
today
the age of 18.
She was married to a trans woman for 8 years.
I was actually. They don't do.
Jesus
gender conversion therapy under those in the age. What they will do is hormone blockers to stop.
But that fucks your endocrine system. That's insane.
In fact, doesn't.
Oh, what are you, a biologist? All of a sudden, I don't think you know enough about this.
I guarantee you she's read more on it than you have.
I would.
A man shall
What
leave
is
his
your
father and mother and cleave to
Are
his
you a
wife.
biologist?
And they two
No, I'm a behavioral biologist.
Okay,
So
so
guess what?
why are your beliefs better than mine? When I've clearly done more research, when I was married to someone for 8 years, when I went to all the appointments, when I did all the research, when I spoke to biologists.
Okay, so you're telling me that your contention is that it's okay to give children hormone therapy.
It is okay under a doctor's supervision.
Okay.
And I think you're conflating the definition of children to be a lot younger.
To be a lot younger than you think they are.
I mean, like, I think you shouldn't be able to have that sort of surgery until
They
at
don't
least
do surgery.
18.
No, they don't do
Until at
surgery.
least 18, or the hormone therapy at all. Anything like that. Hormone injections,
They
any of
don't-
that.
they just
That's insane to
stop
me.
puberty, which they do it for a multiple.
Okay, so this is new, right?
No,
and
it's not.
what's the suicidality among trans folk?
A lot because of this
like
and
1
because of
in
this.
3.
It's a huge amount of suicide
There's a
because of
massive
what you're doing right
Because
now.
of what? Because I'm pointing out that you shouldn't give kids hormone therapy.
They don't commit suicide when they're on the therapy. They commit suicide because they're not given access.
Okay, and so this isn't unilateral. So how could we say that like this is why? You're saying this is why? Okay, so there's something that's gone wrong with them. A lot more abuse
This fits
themselves
under an
when they were
umbrella
kids.
of generalized
you know?
depression and abuse, and telling them that they're wrong to feel what they feel and be who they are. So the idea is that the part of them that identifies as their gender.
He's showing me.
Okay, got a point, guys. I get what you're saying. If you're speeding down the road and I tell you to slow down,
It's not.
that's wrong.
Given that your example was extremely reductionist aside, that still identifies nowhere who you wanted to have sex with. Your sexual attraction and your gender identity are not related at all, except to define whether you would be gay or straight or bi or
All right.
if I transitioned to a woman, I would still be attracted to women, but I would go from being considered straight to being a lesbian. It doesn't affect who you have
Okay,
sex with at all.
but we got.
You heard it here first, folks. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a man or a woman or straight or gay. It doesn't matter who you're attracted to, what your gender is. The idea behind supposing that the driving force of all human life on this planet isn't relevant when determining gender is literal balderdash.
Framing it as a sexual thing is another way to call it perversion.
Okay, so we're doing this right now. We're out here in the community. We're engaged.
Yeah.
They're slaves in Libya. Okay, do you understand that
What you're doing won't help
women
them
were
either
just
way.
granted the right to drive in Saudi
Okay.
Arabia?
Are you doing anything to help them?
I'm trying to be out here and be like,
This
hey, why are
doesn't
we talking
not
about
affect-
this instead of that?
Because this affects us here, and this still affects people. So, if we only solved every issue in order of relevance, everyone in the entire world should devote themselves to fixing Libya, and then Ghana, in order, until we get down to what we're dealing with individually.
Syria. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I just think everybody's just, too busy playing with their dick, actually.
So it's like there's more than one thing in the world at once, and you work on multiple things. I don't understand. What are you going to do about Libya? That doesn't
I don't know.
involve telling people not to let
I'm
people transition.
honestly, you know what I'm involved in?
Yeah?
Infrastructure here.
Okay.
Getting people working. I have,
What does that have to do with Libya?
well, everything.
No,
Because yes,
nothing.
it does. Yes, it
Doesn't
does.
have anything to do with Libya.
I'm an equal.
Is this like the rights equivalent of virtue signaling?
It is.
Yeah.
It's like it makes you feel good
I'm the
because
right.
you think about stuff.
Okay.
You think Libya is important, and that makes anything you say justified.
We're
'cause
going
you're
over the map
virtuous.
here. You're right. But I'm saying we need to fix infrastructure and education here, and not
Okay, no.
sit in a room and read
Libya.
fairy tales about the prince
No, wait, you brought up Libya.
So should we get rid of all fairy tales?
Slaves in Libya.
Should no one read to kids
What are
anymore?
you doing about Libya?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you about it right now.
That doesn't help them.
Doesn't help them?
No.
Who's gonna see this?
But are you supposed to not? So should we not read books to children anymore? Do we need to cut children's education and put that money in Libya?
I just don't think reading a book about two princes is the most constructive
So if it was
way.
a prince and a princess, it'd be okay. To clarify, it's the
When's
gay
last
that's a
time-
Yeah.
problem. If it was straight, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
So back to your original point, where we should let kids be gay when they're adults, but it's evil until then. It's bad. Don't expose them to
Well,
it.
the
Don't tell
problem
them
is
about
that
it.
it's being used as a blanket.
Wait, when's the last time you went and read a book to a children?
What blanket is it?
I don't know. I haven't.
I knew that I liked girls when I was 7 years old.
I knew that I liked
Did ya?
both when I was 5.
Yeah.
And you know what the Bible, Jesus told his disciples?
That's how young they know that. Letting the boys that think they like boys know that boys liking boys is okay is important to them not killing themselves when they're teens.
I get it.
It's people just want to exist in society. That's it.
I can dig it.
There's a whole lot of extra effort devoted to just stopping this. Like this could be doing a lot more for other people than just telling people not to live their own life. That's an enormous waste of resources to me.
I guess, but he does have his right to speak.
He does. But legislative resources being directed to police gay and trans rights, those are a massive waste of resources that could go other places.
Well, the problem is that they are being abused, and there are some freaks that have infiltrated this group that are taking advantage of people, and that's a problem. So
So we get rid of the whole community.
no, we shine a light on it. We shine a light on it. I mean, I get what you're saying,
No
but
trans people have molested kids, by the way. That doesn't happen. The bathroom thing is a myth.
holy shit.
Yeah, they go in there to use the bathroom. They don't molest kids.
Okay.
In fact, people that molest kids just walk into the bathroom and grab them anyway. Nothing stops that. You don't have to be in disguise. We don't have guards at the door.
Okay.
People just grab kids.
I guess, man. Well, can I shake your hand?
Yeah.
It's been an honor talking to you. You guys will see yourself on the internet. I'm Locker Room Talk with Political. I try to be a radical centrist, but...
Study child abduction and murder cases.
Okay. Fair enough. Have a good day.
I wish you could.
I love you.
I hope he
Repentance.
I hope he strikes me down if this is what it chooses.
Ma'am, I'm liable to see your picture in the Clarksville newspaper next week if you don't watch it.
For
Because
what?
God may strike you down. He can.
I'm shaking
And I've
my
heard.
boobs.
Well, when you shake your fist
Do
in
you
the
think
face of a
I'm
holy
really
God,
scared
expect the
of
worst.
a God who-
Expect the worst. I pray that God gets a
God
hold
says
of you.
love and accept. God says do not prosecute others. Do not hate.
Okay. So I'm on my way back from the library, and as you saw, crazy protests, craziness. You know what I'm getting from the lefties that I've been talking to is that they think this whole thing is benign. They don't see any issues here. They don't see any problems. They're convinced no one's going after the kids. They're convinced that's not happening. Now I say when you got all this stuff coming out, the My Little Pony guy, James Gunn, all these people, these monsters of humans. That's what I was realizing looking at some of these folks. It's like, holy shit, they look like everyday normal people, but they're like monsters inside. Not all of them, but and some of it you can tell. There's a couple of guys there, and, you know, you never want babysitting your kids. But anyhow, wild stuff. Wild stuff.
To quote Mom's Mabley, the time to hip a child is the time that he comes into this world. He don't want to know about where's the keys. So what I think we should be doing, call me crazy, is teaching kids how to grow their own food. Teaching kids kung fu, self-defense. Teach them to build. Not Mike Pence is a bad guy. Your next president. You know, to my naysayers who say it's not that bad and, they're just kids, they don't really understand. Well, at that point, you would have to admit that it is all about the parents LARPing, like I mentioned earlier. I, however, know too much about the formation of memory and the long-term effects of compartmentalized thinking. So I think it's kind of a problem. But, as always, it's up for you to decide. And until next time, I'm political.
Everywhere you look, you can write a book about the problems of Republicans and Dems. But you cannot impose if you didn't vote. You don't know the DNC servicemen, but still you wonder what's with Ted Cruz, what's with the Jews, and who don't even care anymore. Still you wonder who's on the right, with someone tonight who'll probably vote blue on the floor. Well, I thought I knew her well, I really couldn't tell she had destroying the Republic on her mind. Oh, when I heard that shrill, I became ill. Oh, how could I be so blind? Still you wonder what's with Lindsey Graham. Why can't I call Caitlyn a man? Are you confused on where to take a piss? Or who's labeled alright just cause they spoke their mind? And who's got funding from Soros? She never cried when old Yeller died. She was washed in the blood of the Lamb. She never stood up for the Star-Spangled Banner, and she wasn't a John Wayne fan. The baby blue eyes, the warning signs. The woman was bad to the bone. But she never cried when old Yeller died. Do you think I'll cry when she's gone?